Hi, welcome to clickmyproject.com. Title of our project is Adaptive Selective Verification and Efficient Adaptive Countermeasure to Thwart DOS attacks. Denial of service attacks are considered within the provisions of a shared channel model in which attack rates may be large but are bounded and client request rates vary within fixed bounds. In these settings, it is shown that clients can adapt effectively to an attack by increasing their request rate based on timeout windows to estimate attack rates. The server will be able to process client requests with high probability while burning out most of the attacks by selective random sampling. The protocol introduced here, called Adaptive Selective Verification, is shown to use bandwidth efficiently and does not require any server state or as assumptions about network congestion. The main result of the paper are a formulation of optimal performance and a proof that ASP is optimal. Let's see the data flow diagram of our project. So first of all, we have to load the data set. In data set, we have a lot of properties like source IP, destination IP, and port, destination port, source port, and bandwidth utilization. So from that, we have to set the timeout window. So in project, I set as a 30 seconds as a timeout window. From that, we have to extract the uses based on the timeout window. So this extracted users are assumed as attackers, and we have to calculate the bandwidth utilization of the users. So in this is all calculated by using the data set, and we have to extract the uses based on the bandwidth also. So in this we have to calculate the band limit, and users are also extracted by using the request per minute. And finally, we have to apply the TDOS rule to find out the original attackers. So this is the data flow diagram of our project. Let's see the demo of our project. So this is the first module, which is packet monitoring, and we have to load the data set. Data set has a ID, date, time, duration, server name, source port, destination port, source IP, destination IP, usage of bandwidth. So timeout window is set as for 30 seconds. So based upon the time limit, we are going to extract the uses. So these are all the uses who are all extracted based on the timeout window. So in this we have a properties like date, time, duration, server, source port, destination port, source IP, destination IP, usage. We are going to get the properties of the that uses. So in the date, duration, source port, and source IP. So we are going to analyze this. So here TDOS analyzing is a second module, and this displayed time. So this time is request, that is in this particular time the users give the request. So each and every time the users gives the request to the particular server. We are going to calculate the attacker rates, that is this is the attackers who are all extracted based on the request, and request factor is calculated. Here request factor is 0.14527, etc. And attacker factor is also calculated based on the request. And we are going to find out the bandwidth allocation. So bandwidth consideration is the third module. Usage, the particular uses, the users who are all use the bandwidth, that usage is displayed here and duration also displayed here. And we are going to calculate the average bandwidth limit. So this is the average bandwidth and we are going to analyze the bandwidth. So initial bandwidth is a average bandwidth and duplicate bandwidth, the users who are all use the bandwidth beyond that 159 KB. So these are all the users who are all use the bandwidth more than 159. These are all the duplicated uses. And calculate the attacker factor. Attacker factor is calculated. And attacker range. Attacker range is 489.11 and etc. And band limit is calculated here. Then finally we are going to apply the TDOS ruling. Get two types of rules, that is based on timeout window and bandwidth. So here request rate is 7 requests per second is allowed, and timeout window, this is the users who are all extracted based on the timeout window. So these users are assumed as attackers. And bandwidth, here also we are extracted the users based on the bandwidth. And finally we are going to apply the TDOS rule to find out the original attackers. So these users are the original attackers. This is the final output of the project. Thank you.